Hi, welcome to another lesson for the pelvic floor. I encourage you to lie down, but you are always welcome to stay seated with me, where I will stay as I'm doing this lesson for you. But if you can lie on your back, and wherever you are, just sense and feel your contact. If you're lying on the ground, you can always use a pillow for your head. And if you're seated, you can use a pillow anywhere for support as well. Let your arms and legs be comfortable in whatever position you're in. Resting in whichever position feels the most comfortable right now. We're looking for sympathetic and parasympathetic balance in our nervous system. Place 1 or 2 hands on your lower abdomen when you're ready, and just feel how it breathes. If you're resting on your back, let your elbows rest on the floor. Feel how it fills and it drops the belly with breath as you inhale. The belly fills and drops with breath upon every inhalation. And notice if you can feel the rise and fall without exaggerating it and without judging it. Take one hand and bring it to your chest above the breast. Keep the other hand on the lower abdomen. And notice if the hand on the chest is rising as much as the hand on the lower abdomen. If you can feel a slight rise and fall in the chest. What moves first, the belly or the chest? When you start to inhale, which is the first to rise? Or do they move together? Which one moves more? Take your hands to the sides of your ribs, as though you wanted to curl the hands right around the sides, as though you were going to squeeze yourself with your whole hands, and feeling the contact of the hands with the bones of the ribs here. Feeling how they curve around your sides. And what kind of movement, if any, do you feel here sideways with the breathing? Do you feel wider as you breathe in and more narrow as you breathe out? And it's the characteristic movement here. And it changes when we bring our awareness to this place. Now rest your hands anywhere you like and begin to sense the movement of your breath backwards. Sense your back, and you can feel the ribs against the floor if you're on your back. The lungs are mostly in the back of the body. Sense how they breathe with pressure changes as the ribs expand and press in the back. Feeling your breath backwards now. So our breathing space has many sides to it. We have our chest, our belly, our sides, our back, bottom, the pelvic floor, and the top as we breathe towards the neck and the upper lung space. Can you feel for some breathing in your pelvic floor? Look for breathing in the pelvis. And you can look and imagine. Do you feel anything in the genitals? There are many nerves there. You might feel a feeling of a slight swelling as you breathe in, and a little bit of a letting go of the swelling as you breathe out. As you breathe in, widening into your hip joints, feeling the movement of the lung diaphragm and the pelvic floor diaphragm. As they match, they both lower at the same time as you inhale, and they rise as you exhale. feeling the matching movements of the lung diaphragm and the pelvic floor diaphragm. Noticing how when you exhale, air pushes out of the diaphragm and the pelvic floor rises, and how it sinks as you inhale. So these two places are working in coordination with one another as you breathe in and out. Take a moment to focus only on your exhalation, bringing the awareness to that warm feeling as the air comes out through the nose, over the upper lip, letting you know that you're starting to exhale. And don't strain to make the exhalation longer than it needs to be. Make it simple and easy. Breathing in and out. In and out. Noticing only the exhalation. Now bring your hands, when you're ready, back to the lower abdomen, between the belly button and the pelvic floor. And as you exhale, we'll use a specific sound to activate this area. So as you exhale, you'll make a shh sound. You want to make it soft and audible. Feel the hands and the movement in the lower abdomen. The movement, the quality of your sound changes. That's when you stop the exhaling and the shh sound. Inhaling through the nose and making the shh sound on the exhalation. Now, when you exhale, amplify the movement of the abdomen by drawing it in as you exhale, as you make the sound. So you'll draw it in, pull in the abdomen to make the sound as you exhale. And these two movements together help to awaken the pelvic floor. So as you exhale, you'll make the sound, helping the pelvic floor to work and contract, allowing for relaxation there. Feel as you fully breathe out, that breath starts to spring into the lower belly, feeling the vitality of your breath. And after your next exhalation, pause and rest. And you can change your position as you rest if you like. And just notice how the breathing responded to the shh sound. This kind of breathing is very calming for our nervous system. When the nervous system is overstimulated, the muscles are in a hypertonic state. So the muscles have more tonus than they need. In some places, this affects are the deep muscles like the diaphragm, the pelvic floor, and the back. Bring your hands now to the sides of the ribs, where we had them before. Elbows can rest on the floor if you're on the back. Let your hands be soft. And as you exhale, make a s sound like a snake every time you exhale. We want to do this at least about 7 times. When the sound becomes shaky or jerky, that's when you stop the sound. And that lets you know that you're straining. And feel that by making that sound at the end, we're narrowing the rib cages all the way to the end of how far they can narrow, making them more likely to expand sideways and allowing the diaphragm to really descend. The more we expand sideways here, the more our diaphragm can descend. Continue making the s sound. It also, in this position, allows the breath to come more naturally in by expanding and contracting the ribs, therefore relaxing the excitation of these areas, and again, calming the nervous system. And the next time you make a sound and finish, pause and rest in any position. And begin to feel how the breathing adjusts and responds as you rest. You might get a sense of yawning or a deep sense of relaxation in areas of the diaphragm that are able to now expand and relax, and even contract more where there wasn't as much contraction. When you feel ready, place your hands on your chest above the breast. Let your elbows rest on the sides of the floor to your sides. And just relax here with the hands here. So this area expands less with the breath because the ribs, the lungs rather, don't have as much room. But notice what you do sense of the breath here. And now when you exhale, we're gonna make a sound, like H-A, just you'll feel it help this area descend. It'll be a much shorter exhalation, but continue to do that about 7 times. The chest will change and go down as you exhale. And as you make this sound each time, feel your chest go down and sink. And relax your mouth and your jaw as you let the sound come out. And when you're ready, rest from that. And notice, can you still feel the movement in your chest? The simple rise and fall. Feel the breath in the abdomen, the breath in the chest. Can you feel breath in the armpits widening as you breathe into the ribs? Can you feel the ribs expand into the soft parts of your upper arm? And can you feel any movement back into the floor? As the ribs get wider and more narrow, they also move backwards, expanding into the back of your container of breath. So notice if you sense any pressure backwards. And then bring your awareness down into the pelvis. What awareness can you now find of the ability to sense your breathing deep into the pelvic floor? The slight expansion or swelling feeling down into the genitals as you breathe in, and this widening feeling or unswelling as you breathe out. And then have your attention be very global for your breathing. Noticing if you're able to hold the image of any or all of those places that we've been listening to. The whole breathing space. We have forward, below, sideways, upper space, and then deep backwards into our back space. And just feel how you receive your breathing, needing to do absolutely nothing to pull the air in. You just allow it to happen. And then you give it up and allow the air to go on the exhalation. Let yourself continue to feel your breath globally, just allowing the air to flow in and flow out. Thinking as I breathe in and as I breathe out. Noticing if you can feel the slight pause between the inhale and the exhale. How the flow of air changes direction. And the slight pause between breathing out and breathing in. And feel now the way your arms and legs rest and get a sense of your whole body and the weight of your head. And notice how you feel now. You're doing very minimal movement, but still a big, big lesson. So take your time when you feel ready to either rest longer or come up And continue to notice the ease in your breath and movements for the rest of the day. And thank you so much for joining me.